The 2020 UCLA Community Collaborative is an applied research project operating through UCLA's Luskin School of Public Affairs from January to June of this year. Sandra McNeil is an adjunct faculty with UCLA's Luskin School of Public Affairs and an instructor of the Community Collaborative 2020. Kenton Card, teaching assistant of the Community Collaborative 2020, is a filmmaker and a PhD candidate in the Department of Urban Planning at UCLA. The project brought together graduate students in urban planning and public health together, along with community partners from South Central Los Angeles and East Los Angeles to address one question: how can LA's working class communities of color disrupt the devastating impact of speculative capital that is raising housing costs, creating displacement, and destabilizing neighborhoods? The project was to address the crisis of the COVID-19 with the stay-at-home order and its impact and the looming economic crisis in Los Angeles and its housing. The course gave graduate students and local activists in solidarity an opportunity to learn, to conduct research, work together, and develop this final project. And it was prepared to be utilized as a tool for both educators, community members, academics, nonprofits, community organizers, and policymakers alike. Our research shows that there is a major racial and economic wealth disparity within Black and Latino households, which actually make up 63% of Angelenos, and their homes have been commodified, and there are almost no opportunity or leverage to compete in the real estate market, to protect their families, their interests, and keep their communities all in one piece. Low-income neighborhoods of color, such as those in South Central and East LA, are disproportionately vulnerable to the regional economic changes within a city. Considering the current public health crisis and the economic crisis projected to follow, not to mention the eviction tsunami, these neighborhoods are being targeted, and growing impacts of speculation and displacement simply due to the lack of funds and other factors that will be covered in this presentation. This report represents a comprehensive research addressing housing, speculation, the connection between housing speculation and public health, possible policy responses to promote housing justice and equity within these communities. We have not presented a problem without a viable solution. What you're about to hear is a presentation of each of the groups within the Community Collaborative. They will give you an in-depth summary of their investigative work. First, we'll be starting out with the shock doctrine based on the book by Canadian author and social activist Naomi Klein. This is entitled Shock and Response, COVID-19, Its Anticipated Outcomes and Potential Solutions for the Los Angeles Housing Market. Next, there will be a health and housing and how they're intertwined, entitled Housing is a Health Right. This will be followed by a segment on the owners of the property and their lenders, entitled Reclaiming Our Housing and Community Ownership. And after will be the right to purchase, which is also known as the Tenants' Opportunity to Purchase Act. This is entitled Reclaiming Our Land, Establishing the Right to Purchase. Finally, there will be a segment, Disrupting Housing, Speculation, Popular Education for Community and Resiliency. Each of these sections will be accompanied by popular education materials and tools that can be used in conjunction with the project or separately as instructional materials in an academic or community organizing setting. My name is Zarita Jones. I'm also the co-founder of the Baldwin Lamertz Crenshaw Local of the Los Angeles Tenants Union. I also happen to be the secretary of ACE Action Los Angeles Tenants Chapter, and I'm the vice chairperson of Liberty Community Land Trust. Following is our presentation of the UCLA Collaborative 2020 project.